I'm Charles Lejano. While winning senatorials are set to be proclaimed this afternoon, COMELEC has decided to postpone tomorrow's proclamation of winning party list groups pending the transmission of votes from Lanao del Sur. Greg Gregorio has the report.
The Commission on Elections, sitting as the National Board of Canvassers, is now set for today's proclamation of the 12 winning senatorial candidates. If the weather is fine, the senators-elect will be walking here on a red carpet. Then they will pose for a photo session before entering the proclamation venue. The proclamation will push through despite the pending special elections in Shanghai, China, and the pending transmission of more than 600,000 votes from Lanao del Sur. This has been delayed due to the awaited special elections in several barangays in the province. The Supervisory Committee of the NBOC made an official recommendation that these votes would no longer affect even the ranking of the candidates in the Magic 12.
Even if we add the 685,643 registered voters of Lanao del Sur and the 1,991 registered Filipino overseas voters from Shanghai to the votes of the 13th ranked candidate, the votes for the 12th ranked candidate will no longer be overcome.
Actor Robin Padilla, who will be a neophyte senator, got the most number of votes with 26.6 million. He's followed by Antique Representative Loren Legarda, who is set to have a Senate comeback. Broadcaster Rafi Tulfo is at third place, while re-electionist Senator Win Gatchalian is at fourth place. Sorsogon Governor Cheese Escudero has also secured a Senate comeback with 20.2 million votes. At sixth place is former DPWH Secretary Mark Villar, who will now have a seat in the Senate along with their mother, Senator Cynthia Villar. At the 7th to 12th place are all familiar names in the Senate. These are Taguig Pateros Representative Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Mig ZUBIRI, Senator Joel Villanueva, JV Ejercito, Senator Riza Ontiveros, and Jinggoy Estrada. This ranking is based on canvassed 172 out of 173 certificates of canvass with 55.5 million votes or 83.11% voter turnout. The proclamation would be at 4 in the afternoon. Each senator-elect is allowed to bring 5 companions, provided that all of them are vaccinated. There will be an even tighter security in the area, as the poll body has invited President Duterte, Vice President Leni Robredo, Senate President Vicente Soto, House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco, and Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo to the event.
Perimeters po will be assisted. We will be assisted by the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police. As is what we normally do and expected, should the President arrive, then the PSG will take over po right away.
Meanwhile, the projected Thursday proclamation of winning party list groups will not push through. This as the NBOC decided to wait for the certificate of canvass from Lanao del Sur, as its votes can still affect the lawful computation for at least one seat of every winning party list at the lower house.
Proclamation for the winning party list groups be done only after receipt of the results from the province of Lanao del Sur.
The COC from Lanao del Sur is expected to be transmitted after the special elections on May 24. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
One political pundit says Senator Cynthia Villar can easily become the Senate President of the country. That's on the back of her alliances with both President Duterte and presumptive President Bongbong Marcos. Mean Los Baños tells us more.
While the House speakership seems to be Majority Leader Martin Romualdez's for the taking, the battle for the Senate presidency can still be anyone's game. In contention, it seems are Majority Leader Mig ZUBIRI and Senator Cynthia Villar. But it might just be an uphill battle for ZUBIRI, said political analyst Dennis Coronacion.
Ang tanong dun is, does he have the number? Siguro, kung hindi niya kakalabanin ng isang Cynthia Villar, baka pwede. Kaso kung if he is up against Cynthia Villar, baka hindi niya makuha yung support na majority.
For Coronacion, Villar can easily muster the 13 votes needed to get the seat, especially with her strong ties to President Duterte and presumptive President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Senators who are allied with President Duterte at saka Presiding President Bongbong Marcos to affiliate themselves or attach themselves with Cynthia Villar.
With this, Senators Bongo, Bato de la Rosa, and Francis Tolentino can side with Villar. She can also count on her party mates from Nacionalista, Senators Amy Marcos and Pia Cayetano, and her son, Mark Villar. She could also have possible allies from the Marcos-Sara coalition, while some senators may be part of the swing votes. The seatmates bloc, meanwhile, could be divided since aside from Zubiri, Senator Win Gatchalian will also run for Senate President. But just like Zubiri, Coronacion said that it will be hard for Gatchalian to win the race considering his youth. For Coronacion, Chis Escudero might even have a better chance compared to Zubiri and Gatchalian.
Based also on his experience, and I think also based on his popularity rin kasi I think how many times siya nag-number 1 or nasa top 5 Senate elections. So I think factor din yun eh.
With movements already happening in the incoming upper chamber, it's now wait-and-see mode as to who will corner the most votes to become the next Senate President. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Former Senator Orly Mercado emphasizes the importance of checks and balances in the Senate. This as only re-electionist Senator Risa Ontiveros is expected to be the lone member of the opposition among the winning candidates in the May polls. In an interview with 1PH's Sa Totoo Lang, Mercado said that because senators are elected by the entire nation, their interests should be strategic and not parochial.
It is very important na meron at merong tagabantay sapagkat pag walang nagbabantay, talagang malaki ang problema natin sa pamamahala. Pag ine-elect ng buong bansa, ang ibig sabihin nga, ang interest mo dapat hindi parokyal, dapat mas strategic, pangmalawakan. At ang iyong constituency ay buong bansa. Yun ang pagkakaiba ng senador at saka ng congressman. The congressman, instead of constituent.
The Office of the Vice President denies claims that VP Leni Robredo requested priority landing at the NAIA for a flight that she was on. In a statement, the OVP described the claim as a malicious fabrication. The office also said that during Robredo's entire tenure, she has never asked to be prioritized for taking off or landing when traveling by air. Cebu Pacific had earlier announced that it placed under disciplinary review the pilot who made these baseless claims against Robredo. Still, the OVP described as alarming how fake news continues to spread on social media almost a week after the elections. And Robredo says she remains committed to take firm steps against disinformation and to promote truthful public discourse. Some UAAP teams are solidifying their positions atop the women's volleyball rankings after extending their win streaks in yesterday's games. DLSU rose to the second spot after handing the UP Lady Maroons their third straight loss.
Look a little lax to start
UP top scorer Eliza Bertolano was limited to 4 points, and the loss that dropped UP to 3-3.
Set number 1.
In the second game, Ateneo picked up their third straight win after dominating the still winless UE in 4 sets. Next up, UST snapped Adamson's 3-game win streak in 5 hard-fought sets. And this means UST is now at solo third. Finally, NU finished off the FEU Lady Tamaraos in this season's fastest game so far, closing things out at 25-10, 25-11, and 25-12. The game was done and out in just an hour and 19 minutes. Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. The petition seeking to disqualify presumptive President Bongbong Marcos from the May polls reaches the Supreme Court. Marcos Jr. embarks on a low-key trip to Australia with his family, bringing some protesters onto the streets of Melbourne. And presumptive Vice President Sara Duterte wants to have her inauguration done at an earlier date. But an expert warns this may result in a constitutional crisis. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 11 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.